go right ahead and do a ninja game, I guess. Action. I could pay $80,000 to get a license for the Tez. And I have been making about $100,000 plus for each game, so I could potentially make it back. And the license is permanent. You don't have to buy a new license every time you make a game for the console. However, I don't actually know how action games do on the Tez. If I could market it toward a younger audience, I think I would jump on it, because ninjas do well with a younger audience. But action is an okay match to the PC, and it costs a lot less. So, do a ninja game. Blade of Osaka is a standby favorite name of mine whenever I make a ninja game. Not sure why, I just really like it. So now I can update my graphics. So it will cost more, but you always want to be on the cutting edge of tech. I say. Maybe that's not true, but it's what I like to do. So, gameplay, action game, story and quests, non-existent usually. So I can add a linear story, and I can add a save game. I don't think I need a linear story. Save games, always good. Always good. Well, maybe I'll include the linear story anyway. I have capital for it. Might have been a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it. So dialogue, non-existent in an action game. AI should be very high. You want your enemies to be able to react to you. You want to have the interface to be very responsive. So, graphics have to be super good. Everyone always talks about the graphics with action games, so that makes sense to me. Maybe a little bit of world design. Make sure we're being culturally and historically accurate when we make our game, because those are always good things. Iron out the bugs. You can release it with bugs still in it, but people don't usually like that very much. Go figure. So I just leveled up like everything except the new graphics. But that's because I haven't put any points into the new graphics before. So yeah, now I can research game tutorials and mono sound, so I can. Those are new components for an engine. So our first reviews came in. They look to be pretty high. An 8. Pretty good, pretty good. A 7. An 8. And another 8. So that's our highest so far. I don't know if it qualifies as a hit game yet. I don't think it quite does. Maybe it does? I don't know, but I'm making a lot of money. I'll generate a game report. So the recently released Tez home console by Ninvento has proven to be a massive success. Sales numbers have exceeded expectations by far. Yes, it did really well. As one customer says, I love the games that come with the Tez, and playing with a controller is so much more fun than on a keyboard. I would say it depends on what game you're playing. Obviously, some games are better with a controller. I would say action games are probably easier with a controller than other games like I would never try to build houses on The Sims on the Xbox. You know, that's something I do on my computer. Whereas, you know, anything where you're interfacing directly with like a first-person character, I would think is definitely better with a controller. But maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. That's possible. Our post-release analysis of Blade of Osaka is complete, and we got the following results. Story and quest seem to not be important for this type game. Right. So, it's always good to stay busy. Actually, I think I might want a new topic at this juncture. So let's see, I could do romance, surgery, music, or transport. I'm still not clear what transport is as a topic. I've never played a transport game. I'm not familiar with any transport games. Like, are you... Like, it's not a racing game. It's not... Because racing is its own category. But I assume you're, like, driving a car or a plane or a train or something. Buses. Of course, airplanes is also its own category. I don't know what that's about. Because I've never seen an airplane game either. Except, you know, like JJ the Jet Plane for kids. But maybe it's like a simulation from the cockpit or something. That could work, I guess. You know, just, almost as like a teaching guide for where all the buttons and stuff are. Oh, I'm so off track. Returning to our options here, I don't think I want to unlock music until I have casual gaming available, because I feel like music is best as a casual game. Of course, romance and surgery are probably better as adult games. Like when once I research audience targeting. I don't really want to unlock transport because I don't know what it is. Here I go with romance. Just keep it PG. So we'll do a romance game. A romance, would it be a simulation? A strategy game? An RPG? I don't really know. Yeah, I guess they're typically called romance sims. I mean, I think of them as otome games usually. If I play a romance game, it's usually like a Japanese game. But alright, so a romance game. Maybe Star-Crossed? That seems pretty standard. Let's do that. Okay, so we generated 20,000 in sales this time. That's, you know, a solid bit more than we usually get. So we're improving, and you can see that happening in physical money. So that's pretty cool. So gameplay, engine, maybe a little bit of story, quests. I don't know. I mean, a romance game should have a little bit more story, I think. Because Because you want to know about the person that you're fake dating, right? And again, the dialogue I feel like should be a little bit more time than usual. World design isn't as important. But you do want your dudes to look handsome, or your ladies, or both. I don't know what kind of romance game am I making. Yeah, sure, you can have both options. There's female and male characters as romantic options. So, industry report. Recent studies suggest that the increasing variety of gaming devices also creates a market for more specialized games. Some platforms become more popular with younger gamers, while others cater for the more mature age groups. Ah, here, so this might be where we unlock audience. As more and more developers enter the market, we expect developers to focus their games on specific age groups to really make an impact. So, target audience. We should probably get that done like now. Like yesterday. So now our 2D graphics are leveled up because we hadn't been working on it before. Generate game report. Okay, how'd it do? Ooh, oh, it was almost a 10. But 9 is good. 8 is good. 8 is good. I was worried that one was going to be a 7. Okay, so skewed upward 8. That's pretty solid. I'm definitely happy with that. So following the massive success of the TES console, there are now rumors circulating that Vina, another Japanese company, is planning to release a home gaming console on their own. I'm actually not sure what Vina is parodying. I don't know what that gaming console actually was. So our post-release analysis of Starcrossed is complete, and we got the following results. Romance and simulation is a good combination. Not the best, but good. World design seems to be not very important for this type of game. Engine seems to be quite important for this type of game. Okay. But they are. They're called romance sims. Play those all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. It's only a good combination. It's a great combination. Game. Research target audience. It cost me $30,000 to do that. I don't know why it cost $30,000 to research target audience. That's ridiculous. But research game tutorials. Today, Vina has confirmed recent rumors about the new gaming console and announced the Master V. The company claims that the Master V is technically superior to the massively successful TES by Ninvento and plans to release it in the coming months. That's my family in the background. I have successfully researched game tutorials. So Starcrossed is now off the market. It sold 28,000 and generated 190,000, almost 200,000 in sales. It's actually less than that other game that I made. Yeah, this was 204. And this is 197. Even though this is rated higher Probably because it wasn't as good of a match. Apparently, air quotes, only a good combination and not a great combination. But we live and we learn. Hi, Xena. You will probably, in every video I do, hear Xena come into the room. At some point. She opens my door, comes in, and then leaves. Just leaves the door open. So that's research mono sound. So I can make a new engine. 150,000. I don't think I have the capital to do that right now. I'm gonna save it. Do a new game. Fantasy. Did I do an RPG before? I think I did. Maybe another adventure game. I do need to build up a, what's it called? I need to build my knowledge base surrounding adventure games, because I don't know anything at the current moment. And that probably really hinders my ability to make games all around. So, because I've been avoiding it because I do all the other ones fairly well. Let me see. So, like a fantasy adventure, maybe Witch's Tower. That sounds cool. Yeah, and we'll leave it for everyone. 2D graphics. Adventure. Okay, so story and quest was very important for an adventure game. I think engine was important. Gameplay seems important. Let's just leave those like even, because I don't know. Let's do that. I have no idea what I did the first time. I don't remember. So no AI. Dialogue is important. Dialogues are definitely important in RPGs. I guess that's good. So today the new game platform Master V by Vina has been released. Cool. So world design is very important in an adventure game. That makes perfect sense, and I agree. Maybe graphics here and sound there. So iron out those bugs. Recently released gaming console has stirred up the market worldwide. Industry experts say that the console is not very well marketed in North America. Maybe that's why I don't know about it. But that it will flourish in other parts of the world. Okay. I live in America. So, if it's not well marketed to North America, then I probably wouldn't know about it. So the first reviews for our newly released game, Witch's Tower, came in. Oh, they're high? Are they good? 9! Yes! I did that blind! Thank you very much. I had no idea what I was doing. Oh, be a 10, please. Okay, a 9. I am very excited about these reviews. I had no idea. None. Alright, generate game report. Alright, so I think I was rank 7 at the highest. Which is pretty nice for, you know, a small, independent, out-of-the-garage development company. So, fantasy and adventure is a great combo. That seems right. Level design seems to be not very important for this type of game. Okay. Is that, which stage is that? It's the green one. I don't know if it's which development stage it is. Okay, according to our market research, the recently published game Witch's Tower is a surprise hit with players. Yay me! Developer Dove is fairly new to the gaming industry, but we cannot wait to see what they will develop next. So this is year 3, so having a hit game in year 3 is pretty good progress, I think, relative to my other games anyway. I definitely could invest in a custom engine at this point, so I will. Stay ahead of that curve. And once you get to 10 engines, you can start licensing them. Also, you have to have an R&D lab. But once you get to 10 engines, it supposedly shouldn't cost as much because you can license them out to other developers. So having more smaller, cheaper engines is probably the best way to go, I think. I'm no expert on this game. Don't quote me. So 38, or 318, I can math, 1,000 in sales, and now I can do casual games once this is done. So recent market data shows that the Govidor G64 seems to be slowly losing market share against other PC manufacturers. In an unofficial statement, a G64 employee said that the company has been unsuccessful in introducing higher-priced computers to compete against newer and more advanced PCs. Well, if they're more advanced, then yeah, probably. Probably not. They like you because you had cheap computers, if I remember correctly. Oh, I forgot to name it! Oh! Okay, it doesn't really matter, though. It does matter if you forget to name your game itself. So anyway, research casual games. Okay. Develop a new game. Hunting action game? The last one was a sim, I'm pretty sure. This might not be the best platform for an action game. Again, I don't actually know at this stage. I usually invest in PlayStation or Play System licenses and do action games on those, but I don't really know what happens in the earlier market, and I don't really have a lot of money to invest in a license, so I feel like it's not worth it. But again, I'm not an expert. I don't know, maybe it sells better. It probably should sell better on a console. So maybe you about end up making about the same amount of money, and then in the future, since you paid off your license, you make more money. So anyway, I have to name this. Hunting action. Ooh, what if you're hunting in the Carboniferous period? You're hunting big bugs. That would be really cool. Insect Slayer. Yeah. And if you are unfamiliar, the Carboniferous period is a geological time period in which a lot of the oil deposits that we have now, the forests that they came from were growing because we had a lot of oxygen in the atmosphere, even though it's called the Carboniferous period because of all those trees. The trees are made of a lot of carbon, but they grew because there was a lot of oxygen in the atmosphere. So, anyway, the way insects are anatomically structured, there is a cap on how big they can get depending on the oxygen content in the air. So because there was a lot of oxygen in the air, you got things like 10 feet long dragonflies, and it was awesome and terrifying, and I would never want to go there ever. If I had a time machine, I would definitely avoid the Carboniferous period, and you should too. So that's my time machine advice for the day, I guess. Today Invento has announced that they will introduce a portable gaming device called Gameling. So here's the Game Boy. The device comes with changeable game cartridges, a monochrome screen on a green background, built-in speakers, and even multiplayer support via a connection cable. Compared to PCs and other gaming consoles, the Gameling is underpowered, but given the lower cost and excellent portability, it might find a huge following, and it did. I promise you it did. The Gameling is said to hit shelves next month. So, yeah, action games. It's always good to have a tutorial. Want to keep an eye on how much I spend because I already spent a lot on an updated engine, but I think I should be fine. But yeah, how cool would it be to come back from the Carboniferous, or to be a big game hunter in the Carboniferous, and you come back with like this, 5-foot long tarantula? That would be epic. That would be the coolest hunting trophy ever. Even though I don't actually approve of hunting in general unless you're going to eat it, because hurting animals is a terrible thing to do. I'm just saying, giant bugs would be a cool trophy. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. Actually, do listen to me, because that's the whole reason you're watching this video, is to listen to me. And to, well, more to watch, I guess, than listen. Use mono sound instead of basic sound. I'm not actually sure what mono sound is. I assume that it's sound coming from a single source instead of stereo sound. I don't know how that's different from basic sounds, except that it costs more. So I assume it's better because it costs more money and I had to do extra research to get it. Today the new game platform, Gameling by Invento, has been released. Okay, so the Game Boy is now out. Okay, so I'll release the game. Hopefully it's met with outstanding reviews. Oh, a 10! Woo! It's a 10! Oh yeah, 10! Oh, please let this be the first game I get all 10s. Oh, it's an 8. Oh, so close. But this will be my first hit game, and it will bring in probably enough revenue for me to buy my own office space. So I don't have to work in the garage with this, I don't know, dirty oil stains on the floor and stuff. And the brick coming through the wall. So 50,000 units were sold in the first week because it was an amazing concept. Everyone wants to go hunt giant dragonflies. Yes. Because they're creepy. Because there is just something about being a human being, being a mammal. You know, it's so much harder to want to harm another mammal, like a deer or a bear or whatever thing that people usually hunt in the forest. Squirrels, rabbits. You know, we just don't have as much sympathy for insects or fish, which is kind of sad because they can be very intelligent as well. Well, more so fish than insects. But all life is sacred, guys. You know, all of these creatures, they are experiencing the world in their own way. Hurting them and taking that experience, that life away from them is a very terrible thing to do, especially just for sport, for fun. Just because you can. It's terrible. I really don't approve of hunting or fishing. But man, I'm getting so off track, but I'm really passionate about this topic. But anyway, I made a hunting game about killing insects in the Carboniferous period, and it made a lot of money. So I guess I'm a hypocrite. Dialogue seems to be not at all important for this type of game.